go. Let's go. Straight up.
Are you on FB's
to the left.
list? Are you on FB's
Step to the side. Step to the side.
Come
in.
We step to the side right here. Step to the side.
You're not going to intimidate. That's what Trump does, to try to intimidate. We are going to fight back.
You're washed
We're
up.
trying to do it all. We're trying to be gentlemen in this world, the Democrats. You are gangsters. You are gangsters.
You're washed up.
Fuck you.
You're a little punk. You're a softie. You're a nobody. Your mommy sucks. You're trash. You're trash. Hey, fuck you, taxi driver.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise. Today, we've got a wild story that's been blowing up the internet out of New York. As you all know, the closing arguments are being made in the hush money case, and it's not looking good for Alvin Bragg, the DNC, and the city of New York. Trump will be acquitted, and everybody knows it. Picture this. Legendary actor Robert DeNiro, who suffers from a serious case of Trump derangement syndrome, loses it in an interview or in a press conference after getting trolled by Trump supporters. But that's not it. The Biden administration also sent Harry Dunn, the former Capitol Police officer who recently lost in the primary for Democrat House seat, and Michael Fanoni, a former DC cop, in what seems like a desperate attempt to sway public opinion. It's clear that the Biden administration is grasping for straws with this latest stunt. But is it really going to work? I doubt it. With De Niro's meltdown and these controversial moves, it seems like the DNC is panicking big time. We're going to get into the video. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. And without further ado, let's go.
This is my neighborhood, downtown New York City. I grew up here and feel at home in these streets. I feel comfortable. The Twin Towers fell just over here, just over there. This part of the city was like a ghost town. But we vowed we would not allow terrorists to change our way of life. And we started the Tribeca Festival to bring people back. I love this city. I love this city. I don't want to destroy it. Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world. But we vowed we would not allow terrorists. I owe this city a lot. And that's why it's so weird that Donald Trump is just across the street. Because he doesn't belong in my city. I don't know where he belongs, but he certainly doesn't belong here. We New Yorkers used to tolerate him when he was just another grubby real estate hustler masquerading as a big shot, a two-bit playboy lying his way into the tabloids, pretending to be a spokesperson for himself. He was calling it as himself for himself, to fool the press into inflating his net worth. A clown. But this city is pretty accommodating. We make room for clowns. We have them all over the city. People who do crazy things in the street, we tolerate it. It's part of the city, it's part of the culture. But not a person like Trump who will eventually run the country. That does not work, and we all know that. Anyway, we make room for clowns, to each his own. But no one takes him or took him really seriously. They take him seriously now, of course. But around the country, people who didn't know him, as we did, started to support him. They bought into his bullshit. Trump bought their votes with outrageous lies and empty promises. He got the most religious evangelicals to applaud a sinner who bragged about sexual assault, and who, just a couple of blocks from here, a jury found him liable for sexual abuse. Somehow he even got self-styled patriots to support a man who called for terminating the Constitution, and on January 6th rallied an angry mob to threaten democracy, leaving death and destruction in its wake. That's why I needed to be involved and wanted to be involved in the new Biden-Harris ad, because it shows the violence of Trump and reminds us that he'll use violence against anyone who stands in the way of his megalomania and greed. But it's a coward's violence. Do you think Trump ever threw a punch himself or took one? This guy who ran and hid in the White House bunker when there were protesters outside? No way. He doesn't get blood on his hands. No, he doesn't. He directs the mob to do his dirty work for him by making a suggestion, an inference. And his gang grovels and follows his obvious order. It's no surprise that the murder rate and other violent crimes peaked under Trump and are falling under Biden. And now he's promising to use our own military to attack U.S. citizens. That's the tyrant.
Goodness gracious, that's hard to stomach, to be honest with you. I want to let you guys hear the other two, but I don't know if I can stomach listening to the lies. This guy, goodness gracious, he hasn't had a movie that's been worth a darn in 2 decades. We know that's the truth. He is obviously bought and paid for by the Biden-Harris administration. He's bought and paid for by the DNC. To be honest with you, while he's talking, it sounded to me like he was talking about the wrong guy. Everything that he said that Trump would do, Biden is currently doing. The Democrat Party is currently doing. I don't get it. For the life of me, I don't understand how this man can get up there with a straight face and say the things that he's saying. But then again, I guess I can. He's a part of that Hollywood cabal. He's a part of that Democrat cabal. They are the party of Jim Crow, the party of slavery, the party of redlining. They are the party of death and destruction. And this guy is right in line with it. I don't know what they hold on him. Maybe, I know, he got hit in the head recently by his ex-wife, for child support and everything else. Hey, maybe that's what it is. He's hurting for money, and this is a way to get a big bag back. I don't get it. I understand why Harry Dunn is there. He's been lying for a long time, allegedly, about his place in the quote-unquote insurrection at the Capitol. And it also shows that he is willing to do the bidding of the party because he's an opportunist. He's trying to be a part of the cabal, and right now he's a foot soldier. He's hoping that he can work his way from pawn to, rook, knight, something along those lines. I don't know. The other guy, I don't really understand his MO, where he's trying to go with this. I really don't understand it. But no one takes Robert De Niro seriously. No one does. I have one other video to share with you guys.
Thank you, everybody. Jason Miller with the Trump campaign, here with Caroline Levitt and Stephen Chung. So the Biden folks have finally done it. After months of saying that politics had nothing to do with this trial, they showed up and made a campaign event out of a Lower Manhattan trial day for President Trump. In fact, Biden's cronies had a printed out campaign sign saying Biden-Harris. So why the change? Why is Joe Biden now making this a campaign event after months of weaponizing the legal system against President Trump? Because Joe Biden's numbers are in the tank. The headline for today in Politico very simply said, Dems in freakout over Joe Biden. Joe Biden is losing nationally, he's losing in every single battleground state, and President Trump's numbers continue to rise. And the best that Biden can do is roll out a washed-up actor. And don't worry, my remarks will be shorter than The Irishman. I won't make you suffer for 3 hours. But the best they can do is roll out a washed-up actor. Last week, President Trump spoke in the Bronx, where he had over 25,000 people show up to rally around him. There is nothing behind the Biden campaign. Their numbers are in the toilet. Kamala Harris is a terrible alternative. And it's all an attempt to try to turn around the Biden campaign. Now, what's happening here in Manhattan? We're in closing arguments for the Biden trial. We've been here for 6 weeks. Nobody has said that President Trump did anything wrong. We have a highly conflicted judge with an unconstitutional gag order, and everybody sees this case for what it is. In fact, the New York Post this morning, with the headline from Jonathan Turley, as Trump trial comes to close, DA's flimsy case is nothing to brag about. Everybody knows this case is complete garbage. President Trump did nothing wrong. This is all politics. If you don't think this is politics, then why did the Democrats wheel out a retread like Robert DeNiro to try to change the subject? You could see the look on the Biden campaign staffers' faces. They knew this was a bad idea. They didn't want to be here. But somebody at Central Command told them that everything is going down the tubes for Joe Biden. And I hand it over now to Caroline Levitt.
All right, before I give my closing statements, I wanted to go over to the article that he mentioned out in Politico. It says it right here. Dems in full-blown freakout over Biden. This is written by Christopher Catalego. Let's get into the article real quick. I won't hold on to you too long. It says, a pervasive sense of fear has settled in at the highest levels of the Democratic Party over Joe Biden's re-election prospects. Even among office holders and strict strategists who had previously expressed confidence about the coming battle with Trump. All year, Democrats have been on a joyless and exhausting grind through the 2024 election. But now, nearly 5 months from the election, anxiety has morphed into palpable trepidation, according to more than a dozen party leaders and operatives. And the gap between what Democrats will say on TV or in print and what they'll text their friends has only grown as worries have surged about Biden's prospects. Let's get one more paragraph in here. You don't want to be that guy who is on the record saying we're doomed or the campaign's bad or Biden's making mistakes. Nobody wants to be that guy, said Democratic operative in close touch with the White House and granted anonymity, I cannot talk today, to speak freely. But Biden's stubbornly poor polling and the stakes of the election are creating the freakout, he said. Oh, yeah, they are in full panic mode. Full panic mode. And it's on full display. But to be honest with you, they've been on full panic mode probably for the past 2 to 3 years. That's why you have all these cases. That's why you have this weak, flimsy case that they decided to bring out in New York with Alvin Bragg. That's why they decided to do it, because they've been in panic mode, because they know they can't win just on merit and policy alone. They know this. So they have to pull out all the stops. That's why they have all of these requirements and what you can and can't do in the upcoming debate. I hope that Trump is smart enough, or at least his people are smart enough to put on a second debate and bring on RFK Jr., bring on Cornel West, invite President Joe Biden, and make it be more town hall style, where we do have an audience, where we do have a non-CNN person moderating the daggone debate. How about we get an independent, I don't know, Joe Rogan, somebody along those lines that can ask questions and allow people to debate how we've always seen presidential debates, with some back and forth, maybe with a little civil discourse, maybe. And if Joe Biden decides not to show up to that, or his people decide to say, hey, we're not going to do that, that's okay, because it just further, it just further tells the American people that this dude, he isn't strong enough to be the face of this nation. You know things are bad when they brought Captain Robert DeNiro to save the day. You know things are bad when they brought Harry Dunn to come in and help save the day. You know they grasping for straws. We talked about this earlier. No one's watching CNN, and no one believes the people over at MSDNC. Or at least, very few people believe anything that comes out of those people's mouths. So they are in full-fledged panic mode. But I got a question for you guys. Will Biden actually be on the ticket in November? Will they snatch him out of there come by the convention? Will they put a Gavin Newsom in there? Will they put a daggone Michelle Obama up there? And if that was to happen, would it matter? I don't think Gavin Newsom can win. The state of California is so bad, he can't speak to that. He doesn't want to debate anybody about how dismal things are in the state of California. He doesn't want that smoke. But Michelle Obama, can she stand up to what we know about Barack Obama and his administration? Because if she gets up there, she's going to have to answer to that. And she's also going to have to answer to how bad this administration is. And they also have to answer to why they've been lying to us for the past 2 or 3 years. And especially for the past 5 to 6 months, that Biden is fit for duty. I don't know if they want to do that. But let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. I do have a membership. It's a way to support the channel. Join the channel membership. Join the ARP family. I'd really, really appreciate it if you did. All right? Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.